Hi there folks, welcome back to another video. Well, it's a really windy day today, and I've taken shelter behind my little cabin, and hopefully I can get through this video without the wind blowing me away. Well, today folks, I wanted to just show you some of the issues I had with keeping the foundation of my new big home, that's a 16 by 40 cabin I'm building, level and ready for the floor that I'm wanting to build really soon. So in order to determine if my big home's foundation was perfectly level, I had to figure out a way to make sure that each of those pillars or piers that I placed were all the right height. But I really didn't know how to do that. So I kid you not, just a few months before I started to build my foundation, this company called Lasgoo, which makes laser levels, contacted me and said, why don't you try out our product and see if it works for you. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to check this out and just see what they sent me. First off, really like this case. It's got what I like, an easy open zipper. You know, you just open it, not a lot of drama. Zipper doesn't get caught on anything. Okay, let's see what's inside here. Well, we got an instruction manual, and I'll be really honest folks, if I have to use an instruction manual I will, but I like toying around with something first. I think there's a lot of us guys that are like that. This is some sort of mounting bracket. Oh cool, looks like it's magnetized. And now let's dig out the laser level itself. So before I go down and check my foundation of my home, see how level it is, I'm going to use this attachment, and basically it's a mounting bracket. So it just has a universal thread mount in the bottom, and I'll put that in here with this little screw there, and I'll just hand tighten it. There we go. So this unit is self-leveling, which is really cool. It'll stop flashing when everything is level. And I know that horizontal and vertical line is now showing me exactly a level line in both directions. Now if I only want a horizontal line, I can go into the mode for horizontal, and now I just have a horizontal line. Or if I just want a vertical line, now I have just a vertical line. All perfectly level and straight. So this little laser target that comes with the level is pretty handy. You can put it on the other end of the room and go, okay, that's where I want my pictures, or whatever you're going to target. So it's also magnetized, so if there's any metal beams in your home or the construction project, it'll stay right in place. So one question that people may have is, how far will this beam travel? And about 90 feet is the answer. So since this 2x6 was already here, it's a stabilizing piece across my whole framework, I can just take this, pop the laser level in like so. I can change this attachment here by turning the knobs to tighten down nicely on that plank. Now it won't go anywhere. There we go. Now all I got to do is wait for dusk, turn it on, and it'll show me how level this whole building is. We'll start by putting the measuring tape on some of those close piers and just see where the green line comes on each one of these. So here we go with the first one, and as you can see, that green light is really obvious. So the measurement I'm reading here is 11.5 inches. This one also is 11.5 inches. And as you can see, I can check the far other end of the building really easily as well. So now that we're in the daylight, you can see how this particular beam, floor beam, is almost a 1/2 inch taller than this one down here. When I made these, unfortunately, you can see I can almost put my fingers underneath this edge, and here it's tight. So unfortunately, some part of this build I never checked for it being dead level, and so that means that it has a tilt this way. This is a high end, this is a low end, meaning that my whole beam here is now affected. But to be totally honest, I'm really thankful it was only this pier that's giving me any issues at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little section out of this beam to lower it to being the right height. So I'll just mark it first of all. It's not a perfectly straight line, but I can kind of work with that. Of course, the big question is, am I strong enough to pull this whole beam out of the way of the cinder blocks, turn it on its side, cut it, and put it back? Willing to give it a try. Now this whole building is now all squared perfectly, so I don't want to knock that out of alignment at all. And it's being held square by this 2x6 running this way, and of course there's one at the other end. But I have to remove this in order to slide that beam down to cut it. So I'm going to mark exactly where this 2x6 was placed so I can replicate the exact squaring of the building when I put it back on. So when you work alone, it's super important not to injure yourself, for sure, especially for us seniors. So I'm going to try tapping it with a hammer and a piece of wood on the other end. Got to get a new piece of wood. Piece of wood number 2. All right. So it looks a little low, but when I put a level on it, it's right on. So just my rough cut did the trick. How great is that? So the good thing, I didn't really strain the back at all. I was very careful when I lifted, but now I've got to do a little more back work and line this beam up and try to make it as straight as I can, just by eye, and that'll work. Okay, should do the trick. Not perfect, but these middle beams, they're really for support. They're a support for the floor joists is what they do. It's not so important that these beams are straight up and down in a perfect way, but it should work fine. Now, in order to make sure this building is totally square the way it was already squared up and measured properly, I'm going to have to put these supporting braces back in place. It'll only take a second. I can screw them where they're supposed to go. I'm taking the mounting plate here. That came with my camera and my tripod. I'm going to attach it to the laser level. Now I can just take the laser level and snap it right on top of my tripod. There we go. How nice is that? So when you have the laser level totally unlocked, then you get this crosshairs effect showing that it's doing both horizontal and vertical lines for you. By pressing this button up top here, is change from horizontal and vertical to just horizontal. Now, if I want to hang up some pictures, which I do at some point, I have a perfect line to do it. So now you can see I've got my pictures lined up. Bird pictures, of course, what else? Really nicely. And of course, this is just an illustration. I won't use these very pictures, but when I'm hanging up important, nice pictures in my big home, I now have a way to do it. So as always, folks, thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope they were helpful in some way. I really appreciate this laser level and Lasgoo reaching out to me. It's a great tool. I'm going to keep it handy. And also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when my next video is coming. Lots and lots more work to do on this big home, that's for sure. Love to have you join me. See you on the next video.